At the end of this episode, you're going to learn why stopping the use of timeout could be beneficial and what alternatives might serve our children much better. Welcome back to another episode of the Teacher RockStar podcast, the podcast that's dedicated to providing valuable insights, practical tips, and proven strategies to equip new teachers for success. I'm your host, Steve Hiles, retired educator, published author, and instructional coach. Join me in each episode as we offer a supportive platform for navigating the challenges of the teaching profession. So let's go ahead and get started. Timeout has been a go-to strategy for many educators and parents. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing reimagining discipline, why it's time to stop using timeout. We're going to tackle a topic that's been a staple in many classrooms and homes for years, the use of timeout as a disciplinary measure. While it might seem like a straightforward and effective way to manage behavior, recent research and evolving perspectives on child development suggest it might be time to reconsider. The idea is to simply remove the child from a situation where they are misbehaving, right? To give them time to cool down and reflect on their actions. However, the underlying assumption here is that isolation will lead to better behavior. But does it really work that way? More and more experts argue that timeout can be more punitive than constructive, potentially harming a child's emotional and social development. One of the main criticisms of timeout is its potential psychological impact. Now, what I mean by that? Well, children are social beings, right? Who thrive on connection and understanding. When we isolate them, especially during moments of distress or misbehavior, we might inadvertently send a message that they are only acceptable, all right, when they behave a certain way. This can lead to feelings of rejection and even anxiety. Instead of teaching self-regulation, timeout might teach children to hide their emotions or behaviors to avoid isolation. Now, as an emerging alternative to timeout is the concept of time in. Now, listen to me well here. Time in focuses on maintaining connection rather than isolation. So when a child misbehaves, instead of sending them away, we bring them closer. We sit with them, talk with them, discuss their feelings, and guide them towards better choices. This approach helps children feel understood, supported, fostering a sense of security that is crucial for healthy emotional development. By moving away from timeout and embracing strategies like time in, we help children build emotional intelligence. They learn to identify and express their feelings, understand the impact of their actions, and develop empathy for others. These are skills that will serve them well beyond the classroom or home, I guarantee you. All right, shaping them into emotionally healthy and socially competent individuals. Another significant advantage of stopping the use of timeout is the opportunity to strengthen relationships. Discipline should not just be about correcting behavior, but also about building trust and connection. When children feel understood and valued, they are more likely to respect and adhere to boundaries. This leads to a more harmonious and cooperative environment, whether at home or in school. Now, you might ask, what are some practical alternatives? Well, I'm going to share some of them with you. You might ask, well, okay, what can we do instead of timeout? Well, aside from time in, strategies like positive reinforcement, natural consequences, and collaborative problem solving can be highly effective. Positive reinforcement involves acknowledging and rewarding desirable behavior, while encourages children to repeat it. Natural consequences help children understand the real-world outcomes of their actions. Collaborative problem solving engages children in finding solutions to their behavior, fostering a sense of responsibility and agency. Now, here are some specific strategies I want to share with you, and there are about 7 of them. You might want to write these down. Are you a teacher who finds yourself drowning in the challenges of classroom management? Do student behaviors leave you feeling overwhelmed and drained at the end of each day? Picture this, a classroom where your students are not just present, but fully engaged, focused, and eager to learn. Say goodbye to classroom management stress and hello to success. The Teacher RockStar Academy course is meticulously designed to equip you with the tools and strategies needed to skyrocket your effectiveness as a teacher. Curious to know if the Teacher RockStar Academy course is the missing piece in your teaching journey? If you're ready to reclaim control of your classroom and witness the incredible impact on your students, then use the link in the podcast description to learn more about this program. Number one is emotion coaching. Now, what do I mean by that? Guide children through their emotions by acknowledging their feelings and helping them label and understand these emotions. An example, you might get with the kid and say, look, I see that you're really upset because you didn't get a turn. Well, it's okay to feel angry. Let's take some deep breaths together and we'll talk about this. Calm down corners, okay? Create a safe, inviting space where kids can go to calm down and self-regulate, equipped with tools like sensory toys, books, and calming visuals. Would you like to spend some time in a calm down corner? Okay, there are some soft pillows and a book or whatever you have in there, about feelings you might like. Books about feelings would be ideal. Teach children mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or guided imagery to help them manage their emotions. For example, let's sit quietly and take 5 deep breaths together. Imagine your favorite place where you feel happy and safe. The third strategy is reflective listening, okay? Actively listen to the child's concerns and reflect back what you hear, showing empathy and understanding without judgment. For example, you're saying that it's not all fair because you wanted to play with that toy. I understand how you can feel frustrated. Another strategy would be to engage the child in finding solutions to the problem that led to their misbehavior, encouraging them to think critically and take responsibility. For example, you might ask a child, what do you think we can do to make sure everyone gets a turn with the toy? Can you come up with a plan? The next alternative might be focus on acknowledging and rewarding positive behaviors to encourage repetition of those behaviors. For example, I noticed you shared your toy with your friend earlier. That was very kind of you. Great job. Okay, the sixth thing would be to demonstrate the behavior you want to see in the child, showing them how to handle difficult situations calmly and respectfully. For example, when I feel upset, I'd like to count to 10 and then talk about what's bothering me. Would you like to try this together? Or something to that effect. Okay, and number 7, storytelling and role-playing. Using stories and role-playing scenarios to teach and reinforce social skills and appropriate behaviors work wonders. For example, let's pretend we're in a story where a character learns to share with their friends. How do you think the character should act? And these types of storytelling and role-play could be in, a part of a morning meeting, for example. Okay. Now, obviously, these are not everything that you can do, but a great start to alternatives rather than sending a kid away to timeout. I hope this was of value to you. In conclusion, my friend, it's time to rethink traditional disciplinary methods like timeout. By focusing on connection, understanding, and emotional growth, we can guide our children towards better behavior without the negative side effects of isolation. Let's embrace more compassionate and effective strategies and not only correct behavior, but also nurture our children's emotional well-being as well. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Teacher RockStar podcast. I'm Steve Hiles. We'll see you same time, same place next week. And remember, my friend, you got this.
You've been listening to the Teacher RockStar podcast with your host, Steve Hiles. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast as much as we have. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our ever-growing community of Teacher RockStars. Until then, thanks for listening.